What's going on, everybody? This is SJG, and welcome to HBCU Game Day. And we got a special treat for you guys today. Her name is Toccara Toland. She is the head coach at Clinton College women's basketball over in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and they are rocking it right now. They are on a 9-game winning streak. They're 17-3 overall, and they are ranked in the top 10 of their division of college basketball. So very exciting times. And I am really excited to introduce to you guys to some and reintroduce to others Toccara Toland. Toccara, how are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. Well, yeah, just we'll talk about it. I know, like I said earlier, I know you're not supposed to talk about these things, but we got to tell the story from where it is. And right now, you guys are red hot over there. Your first year at Clinton College, you guys are on a 9-game winning streak. You guys are nationally ranked um, in your division. You sit at 17-3 overall. Um, just you know, just talk to me. When you took this, first off, how are you feeling? How what is it like for a coach in the middle of a big win streak? As you're obviously there's a lot of things you guys have done right, but you still got a game tomorrow, and then on into March. This time of year, how are you feeling right now, being on a hot streak?
To be honest, it's nerve-wracking. It's exciting, but it's also nerve-wracking at the same time. We understand that we have a target on our back. So it's like trying to make sure we're perfecting the things that we need to work on, just so like we can keep this winning streak going.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So we will delve more into what you guys are doing over there at Clinton College in just a second. But I do, for folks who may not be familiar with you, just kind of how you got here. So you are from North South Carolina, is that correct?
North South Carolina. North is actually the gentleman that founded its last name, so it gets mixed up with some of the directional stuff. But John P. North is the name, so North South Carolina it is.
I'm sure you've had to explain that many times.
I have.
I got you. Yeah, I won't lie. I'm a North Carolinian. I'm a little bit snobbish, but no, at North South Carolina, I don't know that I've ever been. Is it like on the interstate, or do you have to get like off the interstate to get there?
It's in Orangeburg County. It's actually
Okay.
dead smack in the middle of the state of South Carolina. But I was in North Carolina for about 14 years, so I
Yeah,
claim them both.
yeah, we're gonna get there. We'll claim you. We'll claim you. You know, South. Yeah, we'll claim you. Um, so yeah, so were you always into sports, and was basketball the only sport that you played?
No, not at all. Basketball has always been my passion, but when I was in high school, I actually played basketball, was very, very good in softball, was a flag girl on, you know.
Versatility, we like it, we love it.
Right, right, right. Yep. So I did quite a few things.
Okay, busy, busy, busy. So nonstop since then. So you played multi-sport athlete, um, but you ended up going to Ferrum College.
I did. I did. I
Okay.
went to Ferrum College in Ferrum, Virginia, and actually played basketball and softball there until I realized that basketball had postseason workouts, and I was doing softball. So I was like, yeah, no. Let me narrow this down and stick to one.
Okay, makes sense. I think you chose the right one. Looking at the past that's gone on since then. I'm not. I mean, who's to say? Maybe you would have been, a star volleyball coach too. I'm not going to put that beyond you. But yeah, so not only did you play, some research, you were pretty good. Like, and I don't mean to be derogatory about pretty good. Let me say you were a, WBCA D3 All American. So props to that. You led Division 3 in assists. Okay, you're not afraid
Mhm.
to pass the ball. We need more of that. I have a question for you on that a little bit later. But
Okay.
you were the Player of the Year, Virginia All-State First Team, uh, 50th anniversary women's basketball team, and you're a Hall of Famer. All of that. and you all of that at such a young age. What was your time at Ferrum like, and how did that kind of mold you and prepare you for coaching?
Ferrum just kind of prepared me by, first of all, being the right fit. It's a weird story how I got there. Didn't know anything about it. Classmate of mine was going there. Was like, hey, looks like a good school. I'm gonna send the coach some film. And she loved me and we went and visited and kind of everything else is like you said is already history. But um I don't even know how like that all came about. It's kind of like what they I forget what they call it, like a divine intervention. I'm not
Mhm.
I'm not really sure
Right.
if I'm saying the right thing, but like it just worked out. Like it was a perfect fit. When I got there, obviously as a freshman, was just kind of worried about, getting back home and stuff like that. But everything worked out. Like my coach was pouring into me. It just was overall the right decision. Came from a small town, so ended up at a small school. Coach believed in me. She pushed me. She kind of let me be the coach on the floor. I remember her always calling me over and saying, what are you gonna do next? And I'm looking at her like, no, what you gonna do? But she allowed me to call the offenses and the defense, which kind of prepared me for where I am today.
Yeah, so I have to ask, this is HBCU game day. Were you recruited by any HBCUs?
I want to say Voorhees reached out to me. Coach Glover, been there for quite a while. He recruited me. But other than that, no, no, I don't even think anybody else, even in South Carolina.
Okay. Okay. Well, look, I mean, obviously you went where you went and you ended up not only having a legendary career on the court, but it set you up for the career afterwards. So talk to me a little bit, what made you decide to get into coaching? And what was that grind like early before you got that first college job?
So, funny story, my coach actually, she's passed away now, but my senior year, she called me in her office and I remember like yesterday, she asked me, she said, won't you be a coach for me? And I was like, no, no, I said something else, but we gonna keep it clean.
I got you. I
But
got you.
I basically explained to her like it's too much going on. Girls have too many attitudes. I was like, I don't even know how you do it. So
Mhm.
I just remember telling her that it was just not in the cards for me. But after I graduated from college and went home, my high school coach who was still there and her assistant brought me back to be the head JV coach. And then that kind of bit me a little bit. And so I noticed that every time I was working in my career, which was marketing at the time, I kept doing basketball on the side. And then eventually I was kind of like, I don't want to do the other thing that I'm doing that's paying me. I want to do the thing over here that I'm volunteering for. And so it just kind of festered into where we are now.
Yeah, and so just kind of following your career. You coached at the high school level for quite a while, and then you got your first college job over at Piedmont International, which is now uh, Carolina University, over in the great city of Winston-Salem. Talk to me about getting there as a college coach. Learning that program and the time that you were there, really elevating it.
So I was at Lexington Senior High School in Lexington. I'm gonna throw them a shout out just because they just won the conference championship as the girls. So shout out to them. But I was there and Portia Jones actually reached out to me. I think everybody's familiar with Portia Team Bond. So she reached out to me and kind of said, "Hey, are you interested in coaching at the college level?" And I was like, "Of course." And then she kind of connected me with the AD over at Piedmont, like you said, it's Carolina University now. And I went through the interview process. They hired me. The first year was kind of, a learning curve coming from the high school level and trying to figure out exactly what the word good fit means,
Mhm.
and that's different for every school. So my first year, it was a definitely a learning curve. Didn't realize how great of a recruiter I was. In my first year, I was able to bring in like 36 kids over there, had a JV and a varsity program.
Hmm.
So, it kind of started there. And then as I learned more about the school and understanding what needs are and how to, bring good people to the school that the administration is looking for,
Hmm.
things started turning around. I was successful in my first year, but again, the success on the court needs to also matriculate over to the classroom and just being good human beings. So I learned that in my first season and, kind of took off from there.
Yeah. Now, it's interesting that Carolina, the Carolina University is in the National Christian College Athletic Association, which I believe Clinton is in as well.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, got you. So a lot of people may not be familiar. It's a smaller group of colleges. Obviously, their schools are Christian affiliated. Um, what is it? We often don't hear a lot about that that division and things like that. But and you talked about bringing in 36 young ladies to play multi-level sports. How much of your job it is based on getting on with these smaller schools, making sure that you're getting enrollment numbers. You're kind of like you're kind of like an extension of enrollment as well as being a basketball coach, right?
Yes, but I don't really look at it like that because I've always been about providing opportunities for other young women.
Hmm.
So if it's enrollment numbers for the school, that's great. But I just see it as opportunities because look at me. Like I came from a small 1A school where I didn't get recruited. I averaged 21 points as a senior in high school, but just still, I mean, I just still getting the looks. I was
And
five.
it was passing the ball.
Yeah,
Well,
right.
well, well, were you passing the ball as much then? Maybe the passing didn't happen.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Right.
It might not have, made it to their hands as much as I would have liked back then. I was more quick than I was anything. I had to figure out my own speed, but I just see it as an opportunity for young ladies to have the years of being overlooked should be behind us. Like girls are growing, women are growing in sports. So I don't really see it as enrollment because it's an opportunity.
And I don't want to, and I don't want to shortchange something that you did even before you became a college coach. You founded a team, the Lady Warcats, in the Women's Blue Chip Basketball League, and you played too. So you were not only a client, you were the player president, associate head coach, director of operations. Just talk about that. I mean, you're not too far out of high school. I mean, out of college yourself at this point. What was that like? What did that experience teach you?
Well, that was like I'm talking about right now. It was just providing an opportunity. I was one of those young ladies that graduated from college, went and made some trials, made a team. The league folded the year that I was getting drafted. I just felt like I wasn't ready for the ball to stop bouncing yet, and there weren't many opportunities for women. Other than the WNBA, and we see they're still fighting for that to grow right now. So the WBCL was just another opportunity to try to allow women to keep the ball bouncing a little longer.
So yeah, it's kind of noticing a theme here. So you were there for a couple years over at Carolina, at Piedmont, and then you made the move over to Allen University, your first official HBCU stop. Just talk about I know just talk about going to Allen. And what maybe what give us a little bit of your HBCU background. I know you didn't go, but do you have any connections at any HBCUs prior to going to Allen?
Not necessarily. Allen was an opportunity for me to return home. I had showed significant progress in my seasons over at Carolina University, and they were looking for somebody to kind of help them jumpstart into the SIAC, which is where I came into play, and their former coach had left. So it was an opportunity for me to come home, and they were looking for a young coach that was hungry and I just think that was a good fit for us as well. Always love HBCUs, hate that I missed my opportunity to attend. So this was my way of giving back.
Yeah, and while you were at Carolina University, now Carolina University, you guys went to the South Region Championship. You were ranked, I believe, as high as six in the national polls. So obviously, you guys were doing a lot right there. You get to Allen, and like you say, they were trying to establish themselves, as a SISD school. But in your time there, you were able to lead them to a winning season for the first time, I believe, in Division II officially, and you guys made it to the SIC quarterfinals. Yeah, just what how did you grow from job to job? Like what do you think that maybe you picked up in those places that kind of again kind of helped you get to where you are today?
In addition to being a relationship builder, I am really big on the connections that I have with just people. Like, if you notice, I'm always shouting out different individuals because I don't think that I got to where I am without the people who actually support me. So there's just like a lot of people, even if I accept a new position, they're just sending me kids, or like, for example, we just went down to Florida a couple weeks ago, and I was able to make a call to a good friend to be able to get access to a gym for practice. So I don't take credit for anything that I'm doing because I know that I have a lot of support from people that know me as a person, know that, I'm going to get the job done. So, you know, it's just a lot of people feeding into me, first of all, that has led to my success. But like I said initially, I'm also really big on relationship building. So once I get the young lady to commit to me, I immediately, start picking up from where we are in the recruiting process on getting to know them. And I really say that I'm big on empowerment. I don't think that anybody is bad. I just think that some people are not as confident as they should be, or they're just not motivated. So there is a lot of things that happen behind the scenes where I'm building confidence into these young ladies that I have, and everything just comes together. It just comes together. And I feel like I'm very relatable. So they talk to me a lot. At any time, I could have 15 people in my office at one time. So, just being there for them, being supportive. They play just as hard for me as I go hard for them outside of the court.
No doubt. And so after Allen, you went over and took an assistant job at Division I level. What were you able to learn from your time there? What was that like for you? Coming from D3 up to D1, having gone kind of all over. What did you learn from there, and how kind of how that helped shape you going forward? What was that experience like for you?
Well, going to Long Island just kind of help me learn things about the Division I level that you just don't get, the technical stuff, the paperwork and the processes and the protocols. I was able to learn that. And I, have a very great relationship with Coach Rainey Haynes over there, who I deeply appreciate for giving me that opportunity. But I was able to learn more so things about myself, like how much family means to me. So I actually ended up stepping away from that position for, family reasons and coming back home, which kind of, landed me at Clinton. But um, that is an experience that, I just love so much, just being able to learn things outside of what I'm currently learning. Sometimes I don't want to say you get bored with the process, but, just sometimes you just need a challenge. Um, you know, so it was
Exposure is always good.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I like being in rooms. Like, honestly, we grow as people when we're in rooms where there's people that know more than us. So being at LIU was that opportunity for me to actually, watch somebody else in their element and see how they handle certain situations. Because I'm just used to always having to lean on other people, but being at LIU, I was able to, lean on them and pull some stuff away from them.
And like you said, you made a decision to come back for family reasons, and like you said, just as someone who's not only a coach and doing all these things, but also a mother. What is how have you been able to maintain that balance um, you know, um, and really keep pushing forward? I'm sure You know, that's not without its rewards as well as its challenges.
I've been able to be successful as a mother, just because the jobs that I've worked at have usually always been supportive of me having my kids with me. The schools have been family oriented, so me bringing my kids along has not been an issue usually. So I'm looking at their schedules. I'm making my own schedule. Trying to make sure that I'm still present in their lives, but it's been good. It's been good. My daughter's actually graduating this year, which I'm super excited about. So, we'll be hopefully making a college decision for her pretty soon. She don't want to play for me, but you know.
I get it. I
Well,
mean,
we definitely want to allow her. I feel like she needs some time to go and kind of spread her wings outside of me. I'm definitely a problem solver, and if I can solve it, I will. So I want to let her be able to grow in her own rights and figure things out without me always pushing her in certain directions, not allowing her to fail, that type of stuff. So I'm excited about that. My son is 9; he'll be 10 this year. So looks like we'll be doing baseball. I'm excited about that. 2 different seasons, but schools have always been supportive of me having my family with me, and that's how I've been able to be successful.
yeah, no doubt. And you know, for sure. You so let's talk about Clinton, right? So you know, you made the decision to move back, and then you know you had some interviews a couple of different places, but why? You know, what was it about Clinton College that that spoke to you as this was the next step in your coaching career?
It was definitely the people. Definitely the people, because you know it was a hard decision. I had to pray on it. I don't know if many people know this, but Clinton is actually like an hour and 15 minutes from my house one way. So it was definitely a hard decision. But once I got here and I met everybody, and it just felt like home, just being accepted. And they were pouring into me before I even got here. Like, hadn't even done a thing, hadn't signed one kid yet. And they was like, we know you're gonna do it. It wasn't like
Mhm.
pressure to fail. It was like pressure to succeed. And that
Mhm.
was different, because it was like, okay, they already,
Expectations.
yeah, like they already knew that I was gonna do it before I even gave them anything. So that was a good feeling versus, being on the other side where,
Having to prove yourself.
yes,
Because
yes.
you built up a resume, you've done things, you know, so it makes sense.
Mhm.
You know, you got the job in late May, so kind of you know kind of late in the recruiting cycle. So again, you know, probably looking at a lot of young ladies who you know have been overlooked or looking for they might have had a first shot and it didn't go the way that they wanted to. Talk about the team, like how much like how many you know how many new players did you have to bring in? You know, what is it? What is it like? What's the pitch like for Clinton College and you?
So when I accepted the position, I did try to recruit some of the former players that were here. For whatever reasons, they made decisions to, move on. So I kind of came in with an empty slate as
Mhm.
far as Clinton, but I had built such a great relationship with some of my former players at Allen University that decided that they were going to come along with me
Mhm.
on this journey. And so we kind of started with that foundation. And then as we're going, they're like, Coach, I got this person. Coach,
Mhm.
I know this person. And so I'm kind of like going through all the recruiting and looking at them, okay, moving the pieces around. And, we kind of built it there. So um the slate was empty. We started building from kids that knew and loved me, and were
Mhm.
bringing along people that they thought would be able to handle my coaching style.
Mhm.
So we started there, and some of the other kids that committed, Coach, we still looking for other players, and
Mhm.
let me see them, and it kind of worked out. Like one of the young ladies that I have was on Twitter, like actually two of them
Mhm.
was just on Twitter every day. Any 4-year schools looking for a shooting guard or a point guard or a
Mhm.
defensive stopper. And I reached out to one of them that committed, and then she sent her friend, and like they've been phenomenal for us. They're both transfers from Central Georgia Tech. So, they have just it's crazy to me that those kids were shopping around for schools
Mhm.
like that late in the game, and over here they're just our leaders.
Yeah, one of those young ladies, we got Diamond Moore Heath. She's averaging just under 13 points a game as your leading scorer. Talk to me about her and what she brings to the team and why she's your top bucket getter right now. Yeah, talk to me about her, kind of her story.
So Diamond is a very versatile post player. She came over to us from Colorado. So the play style is different from what we're used to seeing here. She, like I said, she's very versatile. She has a lot of counter moves, first of all. But what sets Diamond apart from everybody else is her leadership. Like, just naturally stepped into the role. This was her senior year, and she had some unfortunate circumstances at her previous school, so she just came in like super hungry, knows what she want, very driven. She's one of those kids that, like, through the recruiting process, I didn't even have to tell her much to do. Like, she knew what she wanted, she did it. Application, everything was paid for in advance. She's very proactive in what she wants. And so it didn't bother her to bring everybody else along on this journey and on this career path that she has for herself. So she's our captain. And like I said, she's our leader, and she knows what she wants, and she knows what it takes to get everybody else to bring them along on her journey.
Yeah, no doubt. And you guys are having a great journey. You guys are ranked. Where you ranked last? I know you guys are in the top 10 in the nation in your division.
hmm So when the semester started, we were in the top 10, but then we lost so many games due to inclement weather that while people were playing, we kind of sat out for 38 days.
Ooh,
And so
what was
we
that like?
frustrating just to see everybody else playing and you kind of waiting on your moment. But um, we sat out, and then we started getting it going. Like you said, when we kind of started the call, we've been on a 9-game win streak. I'm knocking on wood. But
Me too. Because I don't want you to hit me up like after I did this interview.
yeah, so after that, the rankings actually came out Wednesday, and we saw that we had finally got back in the top 10, but not only in the top 10, we're in the number 8th spot in the power rankings. So we're excited about that. And we're number 1 in the South Conference.
Mhm.
So we look like we're headed in the right direction.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, you've been at the job now just not even, I think it was just right before June when you got the job. So, obviously, you've had success everywhere that you've gone, and this has kind of been no exception. What motivates you? And I know you kind of tipped your hat to it a little bit earlier, providing opportunities for young women. What motivates you at this stage in your career, as helped a lot of young ladies achieve their dream, get to where they want to be. What's your motivation, and obviously, coaches are gonna say one game at a time. You got one game, tomorrow on Saturday, but for you, kind of where you are right now, and so where is the journey from where you are right now to where you want to ultimately end in your coaching career? Obviously, still got a long way to go as long as you want to. So,
Well, I would definitely start by saying that I don't really know if there's a motivation outside of my faith right now. So when I took the job at Carolina University with that, like we talked about being an NCCA school, the Christian faith piece meant a lot to me. And I kind of started in my career saying, God, I just want to be aligned with whatever you have for me, like whatever my purpose is, whatever, is in your will, that's what I want to do. And then I kind of got away from that as I started winning games. This is fun, and started kind of focusing more on that. But I like to feel like I'm back to that place now. Like, whatever my purpose is, whatever God's will, that's what I want to do. It has always been a motivation for me to make sure that other people have that opportunity. And so I just want to stay there for a while, you know? Like I don't want to get too caught up in the wins and losses and stuff like that, because I understand now that because I am aligned with God's purpose and will for my life, that those will come. So right now it's just about giving back to young ladies so that they can have opportunities that, you know, I feel like I didn't have. And that means more to me than anything right now.
Awesome, awesome. So we finish up here with Coach Toland. Thank you so much for giving us your time. You're red hot. So I'm glad I was able to finally get you on and do this interview because I think when you talk about it, you look at it. Everybody, there's always the Power Five, but even in everybody, they kind of soak up everything, a lot of the energy from college basketball. But there's so many levels, so many people that are doing great work out here in the world of college basketball. And even at HBCUs, a lot of times, we see the Division I programs, the MEAC and the SWAC kind of taking precedence. And then, the CIAA, with their history of women's basketball and SIAC kind of up and coming. So we don't necessarily hear about the Clinton colleges of the world as much as we should. But, what you've done, at your time at Allen and now, your record speaks for itself, 17-3. That's no small feat, especially coming in, when you did. As we kind of go forward, it seems like you've kind of got a really good balance. It seems like you're at a really good place, a balance of, the basketball part, the faith part, and the personal side, and being a mother as well. How do you maintain that balance while also taking a hour 15-minute drive every day?
Yeah, about 2.5 going and coming. But again, like I just said, I just want to do whatever God's will is for me. I think that it's working because it's what He's chosen for me to do. Like I I could be in different places, but where I am in my life with the things that you just discussed, being a mother, having this drive which allows me to get my thought process. Like I think it's the pieces that God has put together for me right now, and that is kind of what creates my center and my balance for me.
All right. So she's Toccara Toland. She is the head coach at Clinton College, where they are 17-3 as we speak on February 21st. I know you guys are busy. I think you said you guys have a homecoming.
So this is homecoming week, and then we have senior day tomorrow.
Right, right. So, congratulations to your young ladies who have come in and helped you, build with the program and everything like that. And we look forward to checking in back with you, and as you guys make this national title run, because I mean, where you guys are right now, that's definitely something that's in front of you guys.
I'm gonna claim that.
Okay, I
I
like it.
receive it. I receive it.
I like it. I like it. I love it. So appreciate you so much, and we look forward to having you on again sometime really soon.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.